What are they talking about? This is great packing snow. This is tremendous packing snow. It's snowing, random day in March. We're in Michigan. And this is something that, you know, my dad would always, when he was like first starting the vlog, you know, it would be some cinematic thing and he'd come out here and he'd go, it's snowing. Something like that. It's been a couple of months since my dad passed away. It's so weird saying that still. It's gonna be weird for a long time. Still doesn't feel real. And it's important. We don't want to ignore it like it didn't happen. You guys aren't stupid. We're not stupid. So I think it's important to address it occasionally and talk about our emotions, because as much as we're feeling it, you are too. So it's a way for us to connect. So let's check in with some of the crew, see how they're feeling, and then we'll check back in with me and I'll talk a little bit about how I'm feeling as well.
I know, Freya. Well, hey guys. All the things that have been happening the last couple months, obviously it's been just over 2 months since Bri guy passed. It's been tough. I won't even lie to you. Sorry. Obviously there's a lot that's changed since Brian's passing, and it's one of those things that we are doing everything in our power and humanly possible to make sure that he would still be proud of us. You know, there's been obviously a lot of changes, whether, you know, since he's been gone. Everybody's stepping up into the, like, a higher position, and, you know, with me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but when Bri guy was here, he was always the one that was like, oh, today we're doing this with this animal, or, you know, today you could help me with this, and it was kind of like, cool. And now it's kind of like all the weight of all 200 animals that we have here is kind of right on top of my head now. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I love the responsibility. I love all these animals. I talk about it every single day. To every person that I meet, I say I work with the coolest reptiles on the planet every single day. The new thing is all the bigger responsibilities. You know, Brian had the idea in his mind for the legacy of, like, which animals are going in which enclosures, you know, how big do each animals get, which, you know, background or design of the enclosures are perfect for those animals. You know, me and Lori have sat down 100 times over and it's like, this enclosure was supposed to be for this animal, but I don't think it's appropriate for that animal because of the way that the ledges are, the tree branches or stuff like that. You know, getting to work one-on-one a lot more with Lori and, you know, trying to break down how Brian thought and, like, the processes of his mind. It's impossible. I'll tell anybody that any day of the week. Brian's brain was so immaculate in the way that he thought about the animals and the enclosures and just the businesses and everything. It's so tough to think about how he thought, but I think we're finally starting to understand it. Things are going to start moving quickly and faster, and it's so weird not to see his face here every single morning. Just like Freya's doing now. It's that big smile. Whew, yeah. So, it's been a few months. We miss him a lot. But we're going to continue doing the best that we can. You know, one day when Freya's Salt size, someone has to be able to take the hit from her. Brian took 9 from Salt, but he was so proud of that. I hope that we're making him proud. We miss you a lot, Bri. We're going to keep doing the best we can.
I love you. Thank you. I know it's so fucking hard. What's up, big girl? Been a couple months, and it's definitely been a wild ride, is what I'll say. Roller coaster of emotions, of just hard days and then good days, but sometimes the good days are, like, even harder because he's not here to, like, share those days. So it's definitely just very interesting trying to figure out how we balance everything now. I was just scrolling on Instagram and I can't really remember, like, what it was that I seen. I, like, looked over at Melissa and was like, oh shit, I'm gonna call Brian and see, and then it was just like, oh yeah. That's, like, what makes it really hard, is, like, it's almost to the point where, like, it still doesn't actually feel real at times, and then there's times where it almost feels too real, you know. But at the end of the day, we still know that everything we're doing here with the animals that we have here at the rep, every show that I go and do at every school, and, you know, I just know that that's Brian living through all of us, and we're doing exactly what he would want us to do. We're gonna get Legacy done and open, and he's up there watching us. He's probably up there laughing at us, to be honest, like, hey, you guys are doing it all wrong, you know. But we're figuring it out. It's been tough, but it's been okay. This past weekend was Tinley, which was awesome. Appreciate everyone showing all the love and support. But I will say, for me, which is a little different of a scenario that other people maybe don't even realize or get, but I was driving down with Lori driving, and it was great, and it's awesome But it was really hard. Like, I'm not used to those kind of trips. I'm used to Brian driving, Big J in the front, me and Noah in the back. That's what I was used to. So it's not to say that I wasn't the utmost grateful that Lori came and it wasn't amazing, because it was, but like that was one of those like harsh realities that like, Dad's gone, you know, like he's gone. And all these things are now what have to be the new normal. Just little stuff like that it sucks, you know. And we're doing a lot of cool stuff around here. This week we're actually doing our first camp ever. We're doing spring break camp. That is something that me and Brian had talked about. Obviously for whatever reason we didn't get to do it while he was here, you know. Next week will be the first time that we're launching one, and I'm super excited. It's sold out. I think it's gonna be amazing. But I get to tell those kids who he was, and you know, give them all these amazing experiences and clips of him, and let the kids, you know, enjoy this place that he built. And I know he's looking down on us, and I know he's proud.
Brian meant a lot to me, because when I first met him, like an honor to meet him. I met him at first AnimalCon, and that was back in Florida. And then when I came here to Michigan to see him, he just looked different. His hair was shorter, so it didn't really look like him. And then as we kept coming, like he just kept looking different until like my first time to the lake house. He told me all of his stories. He said like I'll follow his footsteps. It was an honor to be with him. It's just sad. It's different. Yeah, the crew misses him. We all miss him. And like, as you know, like Legacy, it sucks that he's not here, but it's just an honor to be like helping with Legacy, make it go forward and stuff. Just an honor, and it's amazing. Yeah.
What's up, guys? First and foremost, I want to start by saying thank you to all of you. I know that you guys didn't sign up necessarily to listen to me talk to you. You know, I was Brian's best friend, but mostly off camera, so you guys have been very supportive, and I just want to say thank you. You know, I am one of you guys. I was a vlog watcher that got the opportunity to actually spend some time with a hero of mine. I know how all of you feel during this, and I can't express enough how grateful I am that you guys have welcomed me with open arms. So I just wanted to say that before I tell you how I'm doing right now. This past week was probably the most difficult week for me since Brian passed away. I haven't been doing super great. I'm gonna be okay. I've definitely been down in the dumps pretty heavy, you know. I got sick, so I wasn't able to really go to Tinley, and I was pretty much home alone for a few days. I couldn't stop thinking of Brian, especially after seeing the Shark Tank get built, and with this week we did the mammal rooms and all that stuff. Just an accumulation of things that really had me thinking and just missing Brian. I would just sit at my house and stare at the ceiling and sob, you know, uncontrollably. But I'm supposed to feel that way. My best friend's no longer with us. Building his place at the same time, so I should feel awful and sad, because it is awful and sad. You know, there's certain things. I was talking with Lori this morning. Me and her were, you know, kind of confiding with each other, talking about our emotions and how we're doing, and there's certain things that are just like very Brian, you know, like doing the mammal rooms would have been Brian's thing, and putting the tree in the sloth room is Brian's thing. To now step in and do those things, it's just like, I mean, the whole day is a constant reminder of Brian. You know, it's weird. There's times, like right now, I feel like I should be crying. I literally cried filming everyone else's piece, but somehow I'm not emotional right now. But that's what's weird about this whole thing. There's times where you think you should be flooded with tears that you're not, and maybe you're even happy or doing something awesome and you're not thinking about it negatively. And then there's times where you shouldn't feel sad at all. You're uncontrollably crying and you can't even figure out a way to get it to stop. We're going to be okay. This is all still very fresh and very different than most other scenarios. Most people aren't building the dream of a lost loved one every single day for months after they pass away. But we are, and we are strong. Together, this family that Brian and Lori have built will withstand anything it has to. We are going to make Brian and Lori and you so proud, I promise. Yes, it's hard, but we're gonna get through this together.
Yeah, so 2 months since my dad passed away. Again, it feels so bizarre to say that. As one of the last videos, as you saw, like, I just had my son, we did, Gabby and I. It's my first kid, and I remember telling him, and like, literally, I'm just gonna be real, we'll bleep it out or whatever. When I called him and like told him, like, he literally just was like, shut the f up, shut the f up. I can't believe it. He was just over the moon ecstatic for the gender reveal. Like, I posted it on my channel so you can see it. His reaction was literally just like, when we popped the thing and it was blue, he was literally like, oh my god, like, he was just freaking out, you know. And I always knew that the pancreatic cancer, like, it wasn't good. I'm just gonna be real, like, my hope that I had for him beating it, like, was very low. Late stage from the start. Pancreatic cancer, one of the most painful, one of the most fatal cancers. I mean, I get it from my mom. I'm a realist, and I hate to say it because it makes me feel guilty, like pretty much like maybe my lack of hope did something to make it were this reality, but I just didn't have much hope. It sucked, but I did expect him to be able to meet Cameron, my boy. I remember I was in Menards getting some wood and stuff to build a cool wall in my son's room. My dad called me, told me that he had 2 weeks to live. It was like, I think it was January 1st. Like, I think it was like the 1st of January. And he told me that, Noah, like, I don't know how to tell you this. I wanted you to hear it firsthand. Like, they just told me I had 2 weeks to live. And I was in the middle of Menards, just like literally bawling my eyes out. And I couldn't really talk. Like, Gabby was like, what's going on? What's going on? Obviously, I was on the phone, and like, it took me a while to tell her once she found out. Like, we were literally just in the paint section of Menards, bunch of around people, literally just bawling our eyes out. I've lost somebody, my uncle, when I was younger. It was abrupt. It was an overnight thing, and that hit like a Ray Lewis. Like, it was like a linebacker. And this is so different. All been grieving for I think it was 10 months. That phone call, that 2-week phone call, and the days following, like, that was also part of the grieving. And I know I'm trying to give an update about where we're at now, but it just felt important to kind of talk about that stuff. As I mentioned, like, okay, like, we just had our first son. Hard, like, I'm not gonna lie, there's moments where I'm holding him and I'm crying because I'm thinking about my dad. One of the last days where he could, like, talk, I don't know if you guys know or not, if we talked about it, there was a handful of days at the end where he was nonverbal, which was really hard. But one of the last days where he was talking, like, I knew what was coming, and so Gabby and I, we, like, grabbed at our phone and I just asked him, I was like, listen, like, can you just make him, like, a message talking to Cameron, my son. And Gabby, like, watched it the other day, and my dad said, like, whenever he knew he wasn't gonna meet him, like, hold him, I guess I should say. He met him, like, in utero. He was, like, holding Gabby's belly, like, a hand on it, like, talking to him, and he said, like, whenever Cameron was, like, looking off in the corner of the room, like, that we would know what he was looking at. And the other day, he just, like, honestly, he was looking off in the corner of the room a lot. It's hard, man. And I'm gonna just be real, I haven't been handling it that well lately. I had a lot of anger and frustration, sadly. I think it's normal, part of grieving, like, it's like, that's a part of grieving. It's not easy. Even hearing my dad say that and having Cameron, like, look into the corner, it actually hasn't been comforting to me. It's been painful, really hard. We don't talk about it much because, you know, it's busy and there's, like, really cool stuff happening here, but, like, it stings because this is his stuff. Like, this is his dream, man. And we're just helping it, like, be built, and, like, we all enjoy it, you know? But you guys get what I'm saying. It's amazing, but it sucks so bad. I know we all feel this way. Like, I just wish I could see his reaction. Jay and I, like, we're, like, editors, you know? Like, we edit the videos and, like, film them and stuff. And, like, honestly, I miss editing him. It was hard editing, like, the last video, I knew it was, like, the last video that I would ever edit of my dad. That messed you up, man. We're a couple months in, and I don't know, I think kind of life helps you out in certain ways. I'm gonna be real, I don't think my dad dying had a reason. Like, I'm not like that where, like, everything has a reason, because, like, I don't get that. But, like, I think me having my son, like, that was life helping me, you know? Like, it was just like, this is gonna suck. This will help. It's a beautiful time that really distracts me a lot of times, but it hits. As far as the legacy and aquarium goes, I mean, even I didn't really know this until fairly recently, last few years, that him and Bashy, like, dreamed of this when they were children, like, early teen, 13, 12 years old, like, and I think that's what, like, that's like a big part of what stings, you know, is how close you are to achieving a dream that 0.01% of people ever could achieve. So close to being able to like see it, touch it, smell it. So close. I think it just seems so unfair. So I'm trying to express kind of how I'm feeling. Obviously there's much more, but kind of, I think you get the gist kind of where I'm at right now. It's tough. We appreciate you guys so much for still supporting us and watching. You know, like at the end of the day, it's like you're supporting us by like doing this, and you don't have to. You know, we get it. The main star of the show like is no longer in the videos. Like no one's trying to cover that up. Like we're all aware, but the fact that y'all still show up and like treat us just like you treated him, I mean, it's such a blessing to all of our families. You don't know how much your viewership impacts the world. You watching this video actually has a direct impact in the world. Quite literally financially supports this place, this legacy aquarium, which changes the lives of future generations. You may just be being entertained or whatnot, but you're actually doing something special when you're watching this channel. Thank you guys. We know that this emotion is normal. I'm never gonna get over this. It's gonna be something I carry for the rest of my life, and that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. But since it's so new, we want to just, you know, keep you updated and just be real, because we know you're feeling the same things too. So